What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ed Maximilian back again for another video. In today's video, we are lowering a Yamaha R7 2022. I have David here. David just bought this bike. He wants to lower it just a little bit, and that's what we're gonna do today. Go ahead, David, sit on the bike. And David, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10". All right, so this is 5'10" on an R7 stock height. Go ahead and just sit on it how you would normally. Grab the handlebars. Okay, so he'd be right here. All right, so there you see he's got the ball of his feet down. He'd be a little bit more comfortable if he can almost flat foot. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lower the bike 2 inches. And what we're gonna use to lower it is gonna be a T-Rex lowering kit. The parts just came in. This is the link that goes in the middle. We also have a adjustable kickstand. They actually haven't made any R7 kickstands yet. The good news is that I did compare the kickstand from this bike to the MT-07, and they're exactly the same. This is going to replace the stock link. I'll show you where it is. The left side of the bike, that silver thing right there, like this. Inside. Take this off, this shield here, and that should be enough room to actually get tools in there and be able to work on the bike. Also, we're gonna need to jack up the bike, probably from the exhaust here, to take off some tension from the suspension. To remove the splash cover, I'm gonna need to remove this shield here. So this one is a 4mm, 2 of them. This one here, 5mm. Get to the splash guard here. Okay. It's a button clip. So to take that off, we need a flathead. Right there, we got to take that out, and that'll remove the entire splash guard. All right, so I'm just gonna poke it with a flathead. And that should come right out. It's one of these. There's another one right in the front. This is the one I was talking about. Make sure you put your clips back on so that you don't lose them, and put that to the side. We got a very good clear shot of what we need to remove. 1, 2, and then 3 over there. And the way this works is, hole here is much longer. So what it does is, the longer this is, the lower the bike gets. We also need to take this piece of the swing arm off. That's gonna give us access to that bottom 2 bolts. I can get a ratchet in there, but it's gonna be kind of difficult to crank at it. So, okay, so this one is a 6mm. There we go. Well, remember, when you got a stuck bolt that won't come out with an impact gun, just use it, do it by hand, slowly, with a little extension for torque, and you'll be able to get everything off easily, because you do not want these stripping on you. It's gonna make your job 10 times harder. All right, this is your piece, comes right off. We got plenty of access, plenty of room here. These are 14s. Top one should be easy to take off. We're going in by hand. Extension. They're all the same size, so don't worry about, there's no like order to put them in. And then the last one. Another piece that you can get to lower the bike even more, but you got to keep in mind that when you lower the bike too much, it's gonna change the way the bike handles. So I don't recommend doing both. These links, they sell these links as well. So it'll be longer this way and longer this way, and that'll probably give you like 3 inches. We're just gonna do this one for today. I got a regular car jack. You use a bottle jack or any type of jack, but I like using the car jack because it's got a nice big surface to lift from. And that should give us enough of the weight off to be able to remove those bolts. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jack it up, and you'll be able to relieve enough tension to get this bolt out. If you wiggle it around, it'll come out eventually. There we go. We got the top one out. Now we got to get the bottom one out. Okay, second one's out. And these are different sizes. The two short ones go towards the front of the bike, and the long one will go towards the back of the bike. This link should come right out. Just wiggle it out. There it is. So these pop out like that. That's 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna just push it back into the T-Rex like that. Like that. Do a quick comparison here. Okay, you can see that the difference is right here. It's about this much. This is gonna make the difference in the height. Slide that in. We're gonna start off by doing the top one first. Okay, so remember the long bolt through the back end. Slide it in, grab a bolt, other side. Okay, 2, and then the third one, you wanna line up these little links here. I can't get it to line up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower the bike just enough so that we can get this bolt through the 2 links here. Okay, stop. Okay, see, there we go. We're almost lined up. Lower it. All right, let's go. Oh, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Stop, 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 stop. I think that's perfect. I think that should be lined up. Let me try to get it in there. So we'll do the top one last just to make it a little easier because this is hard to get to. We got all 3. Now it's just a matter of tightening everything back up. 14.
Good?
Yeah.
How does that feel now?
Yeah, it's not moving. This here was shaking a lot when we had no tension on it. It was just like wobbling back and forth, and I thought there was like a design flaw in the T-Rex. Once you have tension on this whole setup, it will not move whatsoever. It's not budging at all. I'm moving the whole bike. Install is done on that. Okay. This took longer than the entire lowering link. These little clips, they took forever to put on, but it's all good. Lowering link is done. The second part is we have to remove the kickstand and replace it with the aftermarket one here. So we're gonna do that. The first thing you wanna do is to remove the hook. And to remove the hook, I have a special tool here. This will make removing the hook much easier and you don't make it spring on your face. So you grab here and you pull really hard, back out that way. Yeah, perfect, good. All right, so this is out. To get the kickstand off, it's going to be 17. This bolt comes right out. We're gonna reuse all the hardware. Bolt washer, kickstand washer, like that. The stock spring for the R7 is way too long. We're using an MT-07 spring because this is an MT-07 kickstand. The distance between the little hook adapter here and this little hook here is not the same in the stock spring. I'm gonna tighten up the kickstand first, real quick. This is your kickstand safety switch bracket. What we want to hook this bracket onto, right? The circle goes in there. When this is pushed in, it tells the bike that the kickstand is up. When it's depressed, it tells the bike that the kickstand is down and it won't let you go into gear. It'll just stall the bike like that. And then we're gonna grab the MT-07 spring. We're gonna hook it onto this little circle. Then we're gonna pull the MT-07 spring to hook onto this indent here. And yes sir. It's gonna go with a lot of force. Okay, that pushes it in right there. Now we're gonna just put the little silver rod, and this is what helps you kick your kickstand out. All right, and the way to tighten this, you're just gonna take a monkey wrench and just adjust it. Not super tight. Now the bike is lowered 2 inches in the rear, and we're gonna have to lower about 2 inches in the front to make it totally level. What we're gonna do now is lower the front forks. And how you lower the front forks, and this is with almost any sport bike, is see this here, this is your fork. This gap here, it has to be equal on the other side. So we're gonna loosen out 1, that's the clip on. Then we're gonna loosen up the triple tree, which is 2 right here, and then 2 on the bottom. Those 2 bolts down there, that's on the bottom of the forks. It's 2 on this side, 2 on the opposite side. Another thing we need to do for the R7 in particular, we're gonna have to take apart this fairing here. An Allen and a couple of little rivets. Oh, nice. So now we got a good amount of room to work in here. Normally you would have to take this whole front headlight. First thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna loosen up the 2 bolts at the bottom. All the Allen bolts here are the same size, and it is a 6mm. Very, very important. Even though other sizes might fit, you wanna make sure that when it goes in, there is absolutely no play when you turn it. If you have any little bit of play, you will strip your bolt. If you strip your bolt, you're not gonna have a good time. I'm gonna loosen up the bottom first. All right, now that we got the bottom one loosened, we're gonna loosen the top one. All right, we're gonna loosen the clip-on. There's another bolt, like a screw up here up top, so we're gonna have to loosen this little cap here with like a pick. Kind of a pain in the butt to get out, but there we go. So the top one is a 5mm. For the brake is attached to Brembo hydraulic here. So this right here isn't letting us, so we're gonna have to take that out. You just want to make sure that you don't rotate this too much, and then you'll get fluid everywhere, and brake fluid is corrosive. All right, clip-on is down. All right, the farthest we could bring the forks up, or in this case, bring the triple tree down, would be right up until here, where the taper starts. If you go past this part, you never, ever, ever want to clamp this onto the taper, because even if you clamp the triple tree all the way, you'll still have a gap, and that is not safe at all. So if we are gonna go past this taper, we're gonna have to put electrical tape on the bottom. All right, so we got everything loose except for the triple tree itself. We're gonna save that for last. We're gonna repeat the same process that we did on this side. We're gonna do on the other side, because we're gonna wanna lower the triple tree at the same time. And we're also gonna put a jack underneath, and what this is gonna do is it's gonna keep weight off of the forks. Look over here in the suspension. We're taking weight off of the front end, right? And that's about as far as it goes. Okay, so we got weight off the front end. That way we'll be able to lower the triple tree slowly. If you do it too fast, it's gonna be a pain in the butt to get it to go back. On the other side, we'll start with these two down here. The stock spacing is 7mm. So we're gonna wanna get that to 25mm plus 7, so about 32mm down. And that'll be exactly 1 inch from stock height. Easy. Okay, that is definitely loose. All right, now we're gonna do the other side. Okay, so now triple tree is loose. What I'm gonna do now is lower the jack so that there's weight on the forks, and this is gonna slowly rise. You can always go more, but to put it back is gonna be tough. All right, same thing on the other side. And let's measure that. This is 20, it's about another 12mm. This one is 20, yeah. So we're currently at the same exact distance. 34. Okay, so we're a little over, but this is okay with me. 35mm. All right, so we're gonna leave it at 35 here. 35.14. All right, exact. All right, we're good here. The clip-ons aren't going to be able to clip onto the actual thicker part of the fork. It's going to be, half of it's going to grab the thick part, other half is going to be grabbing the taper part. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up with electrical tape to even it out, and then it'll be able to grab. Okay, so we're gonna slowly go around. You can also do this with shims. I don't have any shims, so we're using electrical. Now, keep in mind, electrical tape does flex. So you wanna go a little bit thicker than where the taper is. When the clip-on pinches on, it'll create a nice seal. It'll sort of like press it into place. Slide right up to the end. Now, the clip-on has a bolt that goes up here, and that keeps this aligned, and it keeps these two together. And then this one will also ensure that this clip-on won't fall down. Okay. The handlebar pinch bolt is 24 foot-pounds. All right, and I think that's it. Only thing left to do is put the fairing back on. Forward, and then back, yes. All right, so now we got the bike lowered. I'm gonna have David get on the bike. Go ahead, David, sit on the bike. There you go. Now look at that difference. Yeah, he could almost flat foot now. So it's basically a 2-inch drop. Yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Rear is lower, front is lower. Let's test the handlebar steering. And we can confirm that it does clear and nothing hits on the right, nothing hits on the front. Yes, now this bike is lowered. Make sure that the kickstand works. Yes, and we're done. It's been lowered 2 inches in the rear, 1.5 inches in the front. So I'll show you what it looks like at 5'2" on an R7 with the rear and front lowered. Back up here, okay. And I can actually ride this bike. Normally, when it was a stock height, my feet were dangling like this. And now with 2 inches lower, we're at 30.8 inches, just enough for me to be able to ride this. And I can ride it comfortably. This isn't too bad. It pinches here in the middle a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And I'll be able to ride this no problem. That's it, you guys. Thank you for joining me on this video. If there is any other bike you'd like for me to lower, I'll try to get my hands on it and I'll get the kit and I'll lower it for you guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the subs. I appreciate the support. And I'll see you guys in the next video.